Hi everyone, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and I'm so excited to be part of this spring craftathon this year. I did it last winter as well, and it was a ton of fun. So if you haven't already checked out the other presenters that have gone this morning and that will be going all day long, be sure to do that because holy cow, there's I got some great ideas this morning just from the 3 or 4 presenters that went before me. So anyways, I'm going to give this just a second to get started, and then we will begin our craft, which is a really fun one. I can't wait to tell you. It focuses on this, which this is something that I picked up at Walmart. So, okie dokie, it looks like we're working. So, for today's, I'm Hiedi Scott, by the way, if you're just joining me. I'm with DiyDreaming, and I'm so excited to be part of this spring craftathon. This is my second time doing it, and I'm absolutely loving what I've seen this morning. So, hi everyone! If you haven't already checked out the other presenters, do that for sure, because already I've gotten so many great ideas. So the craft that I'm going to be showing you today involves this. It's called a tin plaque. Oops. It's from Walmart, you guys. It was about $3.37. So we are going to Mod Podge some old encyclopedia pages on it. Hey everyone! Hey Christina! Hey Michelle! Hey Kathy! Hey Melanie! Okay, so first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to Mod Podge some old dictionary pages on this. Then I'm going to show you how to stencil it with a Bible verse. Then I'm going to show you how to embellish it with these really cute little flowers that we're making out of some kind of unusual ingredients and those button magnets. So I have a ton to show you, and I hope that you'll stay until the very end so that you can see the finished product. All right, so we are going to be using, this is my favorite vintage dictionary. It was collecting dust for many years, and I decided to put it to use. So what you do to start is you tear out some pages, and then I went ahead and cut them into pieces, okay? So I'm going to just be Mod Podging all over the place, and you can cut these pieces as big or as small as you want. The first one that I did that is all good to go that I'll show you at the end, I used much smaller pieces, and I tell you what, one of the things I like to share at DiyDreaming are the don'ts. Don't use teeny little pieces of paper because it will take you forever. Also, I like this matte Mod Podge better than the shiny, so that's what we'll be using today. So we're just going to take a big glomp. You can start absolutely anywhere you want. Your pages don't have to go on in any particular order. Oops, I had 2 right there. Can you guys see what I'm doing? I think you can. And it's like you're just building. You're just adding layer after layer. Okay, and I'm just going to show you the basics of this, and then we'll move on to the next step because I think most people know how to do Mod Podge. After you've got everything covered, then you are going to want to after it's dried, you're going to want to give it one more coat and push everything down good, and you will have your finished. So this is what we have so far. All right, and you get the idea. You just keep going until you have your whole surface covered. And let me tell you this, you can use a vintage dictionary pages, you could use hymnal pages, you can use old book pages, you can use saxophone music pages, you can use scrapbook paper, absolutely whatever you want to cover your little tin from Walmart in. And when you're finished, this one I did right here before we got started, and I used music, okay? When you get finished, it's gonna look like this. And what I wanted to point out was how I sort of went kind of around the edges. Do you guys see that? So I didn't go all the way out. Personally, I like the first one better. I like that look better, but this is pretty cute. So then the next step is we are going to stencil it. And I love stencils that have Bible verses on them because that's completely what I'm into. And so we're going to be using some of these awesome stencils from the company that I'm an affiliate with, which is a maker studio. We're going to be using this one. It says Psalm 103, bless the Lord, O my soul. That's the one that we're actually going to use. But if we were doing this project on a smaller piece of tin, there's lots of different ones that you could use. This one's really cute. I especially love the one in the middle that says faith over fear. This one is super cute. Let go, let God. Your grace is sufficient. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Let your light shine. This one's really cute. I love the style of this. Delight yourself in the Lord and he shall give you the desires of your heart. And then there's one more here. This one is my all-time favorite. And if you follow DiyDreaming, you've seen me do a lot of crafts with this one. But also on this same sheet, there's a great one that says pray more, stress less. So I included links in the description. And if you want links to look at the stencils that have Bible verses on them, just send me a message and I will be glad to send you the link for those. Okay, so like I said, we're going to use this one. Okay, and you're just going to pull it off the backing. You're going to be so surprised what we're using here in a few minutes to make our little magnet flowers. But okay, so I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm not one of those crafters that is crazy about getting everything exactly centered. Hey, Elise. Oh, she says those stencils are amazing. Michelle says that too. You know, the thing about stenciling that I love is that it requires absolutely no artistic abilities. All you have to do is push whatever medium you're using through the holes on a stencil and then pull off the stencil and you're done. So when friends say, oh, you're so creative, you're so crafty, you're artistic, I couldn't possibly do what you do. I'm like, really? You couldn't push some gel ink through the holes on a stencil? So this is what you get. And these stencils are nice because they're adhesive. So they don't slip around and you're not likely to push your medium through the holes. All right, and I'm just going to be using a little spreader and some of this stuff, which is called Black Gel Art ink. I use this stuff all the time. Oh, hey, I forgot to say, if you like this video, you like these kind of crafts that we do at DiyDreaming, feel free to sprinkle this to your social media. I already see people saying that they're sprinkling. Thank you guys, I really appreciate that. And if you like faith crafts, then definitely follow DiyDreaming because about every other craft I do has something centered around faith. I also like crafts where we're reusing and repurposing things like book pages and all sorts of things. So, okay, so I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of this Black Gel Art ink onto my spreader. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Whoops, put myself in the eye. And we're literally just pushing it through. Now, I do want to warn you that when you have a bumpy surface, because we've Mod Podged all this paper on, you're not going to get a perfect impression, but that doesn't matter. This is homemade, so we don't want perfection. If we wanted perfection, we would buy something that a machine made, not something that a human did. Okay, and this takes hardly any gel ink. So these little tubes of gel ink, which I also put a link in the description, but I can send you a link, a direct link for that if you're interested. It lasts a long time and you can do a ton of different projects. This media that I'm using right now, in fact, it can be used on fabric and you can heat set it so it's permanent so that you can even wash what you stencil. So this last week I did some really cute crafts. I did these darling baby onesies that had Bible verses on them. And then if you look over my shoulder, whoops, which way am I? Right above there. I did this darling banner. I love to do banners. And it has these funny little carrots on them that are stuffed so they're sort of 3D. And next up tomorrow, let me just interrupt myself and tell you, tomorrow I'm going to be showing on DiyDreaming how to make these candle garters that can go along with your banner. And these are super easy, and there's a ton of different styles, which you'll see in a few minutes. I'm also going to show you how you can take this kind of burlap and turn it into these darling little burlap flowers. So if those sound interesting, be sure to follow DiyDreaming and join me tomorrow in the afternoon. And I will show those. Okay, we're almost finished. How am I doing for time? I think I'm good. The last step is the funnest step, for sure. So I want to save lots of time for that. Normally when I'm using these spreaders, I also tend to cut them into smaller pieces. They're easier to work with. Okay, I'm really hoping that this is going to look good. Oh, it does! Yay! You know, it's embarrassing when you're crafting and you mess something up in front of the whole world, especially when you're crafting on Facebook. So, let me just show you how that turned out. Let me grab my hands. Isn't that cute? Okay, and again, this tin plaque came from Walmart. It was like $3.37. I could not believe how inexpensive it was. And it comes with the little holes and the little jute hanger on it. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside and we're gonna move over to the one that I have finished, and I'm gonna show you the last step. It's really cute. Okay, this is the one that I finished. This is the one that I used the vintage dictionary pages for. Do you guys like this? Give me some love if you do. Oh, beautiful, love it, beautiful, love it. Love it, adorable. These are the kind of crafts I like to make. Okay, and here's where it gets really fun. One of my favorite ingredients for crafting are these cookie sheets from the Dollar Tree. And I love to use these to make all sorts of flowers and things like that. For example, this one right here. This leaf and this part are cookie sheet from Dollar Tree. This one has it too. And these are little button magnets. So I'm gonna show you how to do those, and then we'll come back to this at the very end. And I will take pictures of the projects and show those to you so that you can check them out. Okay, so the first thing I like to do when I'm making these little button magnets is I like to punch out some shapes. And the two punches that I'm using a lot right now are this one. It's a 3-inch, like a round flower, and then this one, okay? And believe it or not, this cookie sheet from Dollar Tree is soft enough that you can cut it with scissors, you can punch it out with your punches, and then you can bend it however you like, and it still looks like tin. It's awesome. So basically, you're just going to stick it into your punch, and here you go. I'm going to do the other one. These punches, by the way, I got at Hobby Lobby when they were 40% off, so they weren't super expensive. Okay, so I have lots of these all ready to go. Let me show you a couple examples of what I've made, and then we'll talk about how you can layer them up. Okay, this is a simple one that I made. Hey, Carmelina. Hey, Deanna. Hey, Deborah. Okay, this is a simple one that I made. This is one that I made to go along with the banner over my shoulder with this orange and burlap and natural sort of look. Okay, here's a more simple one that just has a book page. I'll probably use this on that the tin that we just stenciled. Here's another cute one. Okay, and another one. And some things that you can use to create these little stacks that become your flowers. Well, first of all, you're gonna buy some of these button magnets. And I think the bigger they are, the stronger they are. By the way, if you look over my shoulder, let's see which way, this way. This is a silver platter that I repurposed, stenciled, and I made one of these magnet little flowery things. So you can do tons of different things. Okay, so I like the ones that are a little bit bigger size because they're stronger. And you can use like this 6-inch burlap. This came from Walmart this week. This is an awesome color of orange burlap and it was like $4.88. This is my favorite ribbon also from Walmart, also $4.88, and I use this a ton, okay? So I've already cut out some pieces and I'm not being super careful when I do that because I don't want them perfectly round. Bring my glue gun over here. So I usually start with this as a base because it's easy to glue the button magnet on the back of it. All right, and I'm just gonna put some hot glue on it, not even a ton. And I'm gonna put my first layer, which is a not quite round piece of burlap. Okay? Then we can do our next layer, which I'm gonna do some of this lace from Walmart that I love so much. Okay, this is what we have so far. Then I'm gonna use a piece of orange burlap, and you can do as many layers as you want. It doesn't have to be super thick. It's just up to you. And sometimes I'll lay my layers off center so that you can see all of them. Okay, then I'm gonna take a piece of my encyclopedia that I cut out with the same punch, okay? And I'm gonna put that on here. And then I'm gonna take one of these little flowers, like this, that I punched out of that tin. You guys are awesome at this live videos. I'd be a hot mess. Well, I tell you what, I was a hot mess right about when I was getting ready to start because I couldn't figure out how to get the angle on my phone right so that you could see me and my hands. That is my biggest struggle. Not the crafting, nothing else, just figuring out what I can do so that people can actually see me. Okay, so I just glued this on, and if you notice, I bent the little petals up. That makes it so much cuter. And then I'm gonna top it off with I have a huge collection of vintage buttons. So if you like vintage buttons, you definitely need to follow DIY Dreaming. Also, if you like old paper, hymnals, music, old books, you definitely need to follow DIY Dreaming because I do a ton with that kind of stuff. But anyways, I have some orange buttons from the 50s and I'm just gonna put a blob of hot glue in the center and stick my button on there. Okay, and this is what we have so far. And I am going to then glue, where are my magnets? A magnet on the back of it, and I'm gonna show you one more example. And this entire project, you can do it with what you have at home. If you have burlap fabric, scrapbook paper, if you have different punches, you can do tons of different things. So see, this would just stick right on here. Now this color combination doesn't quite go with this. They also stick to those repurposed silver platters that I painted behind me. So this is another one that I made that I love this one. And it has burlap, that orange fabric, burlap, painter's drop cloth right here. I use a ton of painter's drop cloth in my crafts. More orange fabric, a book page, burlap fabric, and a ivory button. And this will make a cute little flowery thing too. Okay, last but not least, I want to show you, I'll do it with this one, how you can make something that you can just clip on to whatever kind of craft you're doing, if it isn't magnetized. We'll use this. And you guys know what these are. obviously. Just put that on there. And now I can literally clip this on any project that I want. Whoops, where am I? Whether it's magnetized or not. So I hope that you liked this project. Like I said, I'm doing candle garters and more flowers and these burlap, using this to turn into these burlap flowers tomorrow. And then all next week, I have some really great projects coming up too. So everything I do is quick, super affordable. I like things that are a little unusual, like cookie sheets and old book pages and stuff like that. I like things that don't require any artistic ability, and I like things that don't take a long time to complete or require a ton of ingredients. So if that appeals to you, be sure to like and follow DIY Dreaming. When I get off, I will put some links in the comments for those Bible verse stencils and the gel ink, and I will respond to all your comments. So I so appreciate you guys. I hope that you'll spend the whole rest of the day watching the Spring Craftathon, because I tell you what, there's some amazing presenters. And I'm just so thankful, Melanie, wherever you are, that you allowed me to do this for the second time. And I tell you what, I want to sign up for the next one, whether it's summer or whatever it is. So thank you guys for watching, and I will hopefully see you soon at DIY Dreaming.